with the Jawhead is most fights they pick, they choose when and how it happens.
Yeah.
So this is lethal. I'm looking forward to a snowball.
See if they get it.
Let's see who's going to take game number 2. Will it be Onic? Will Omega bouncing back? But Keller gets his hands on the carry. Let's not get it scary.
Look at that speed. Both teams understand that they need to go fast. So given the vertical jungling, starting purple and orange respectively, they both get their own amount of leashing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miko going to be sticking a little bit more closer to Ryzen, trying to really up his speed with clearing, knowing that Sansui has a bit of an edge over that Hayabusa. Kekadu providing a lot of information right now, though, for Onic, so it should help temper Omega's ability to play aggressively here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a jungle Martis. All right, so it's Ryota just holding it down,
Yeah.
hunkering up top lane.
Yup, XP lane Fredrin. We were expecting, for me personally, I would really think it would work more for a jungler, but up against a Grok, yeah, still had a chance.
I prefer that. I think they ended up shifting things around, especially with the presence of a Jawhead. They'd want the control immunity that the Martis has for himself, so he can better secure the objectives.
Yeah, glad that you pointed that out, because they need to also secure the part that early game advantage is in the hands of Omega. Without the presence of Natalia, they can either be aggressive.
Yep. And that seems to be their plan here as they post up Ryzen and Miko here in the jungle, approaching the jungle. For Onic, they know that the purple is going to be timing out soon, but we'll see Turtle first in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, the members of Onic have to be careful. 2 members of Omega have high and dry on them. One on Hayabusa and one on the Grok. They're going to want to clump up a little bit more here and make sure no one is caught with their pants down individually.
Yeah, first turtle is up for the game. No setups or whatso yet for Onic. Meanwhile, for Omega,
Oh, check it out. It's a 3v2. Now a 4v4. And there's an ejector on to Ryota. He goes down first blood drawn. Ryzen secures a turtle. That's a clear win for the Barangay.
opening up the second game. Clearly an advantage is now, and Onic respects the fact that they're lacking that counter punish yet. But so far, it's in the first major objectives, they need to see if it's worth it or not.
Yeah, quite ironic that we mentioned that a Fredrin in the jungle might have a difficult time with the Jawhead and getting caught out. Who got caught out and gave Omega their first blood? Well, it was the Fredrin.
And this is what we were saying, right? Like
Yeah.
when Omega says, I want that target, or I want to commit this engagement, they will. So gank till you drop. I'm wondering when it's going to swing, though. Where's Onic looking for that? Might be here. There's an I'm offended on the Storm. The ult by Super Friends. Storm dashes out.
Talking about swings and unexpected flashes, Onic is looking opportunities to delay the up-pacing momentum of Omega while visiting camps and even onto the bottom lane. Is Keller the target right now? There's three members of Onic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Miko pushing away three members of Onic. Here comes Storm and Renzio. There's a pull-in and a dash. Here comes Super Prince. No ult though, but it's enough for Sensui to decimate Miko. Onic on the board now with 1 kill.
Miko said, I want to throw someone. Onic said, no, you're not. Just all the crowd control abilities changed one after the other. The moment Miko flickered in and tried to press that skill 2 again, he just couldn't get the toss off. Great response there by Onic to counter.
With the CC, the great amount of CC present in the side of Onic, they can take down Omega's presence early game in any moment. But the mindset right now is for the push and give an advantage for Nets to build those items.
Dear Lord, 4-man rotation from both teams, but it's Onic who spent an ult and maybe a few seconds chipping away at that gold shield down bottom, giving them a small lead, about 150.
Let's revisit again skill interactions between Ruby and the Jawhead. Miko knows he's going to go into this with a little bit of a disadvantage because Ruby is one of the heroes that can make Jawhead's life difficult.
Oh, and there's the pull. Kekedot very low. Another one! I'm offended! And the answer by Ryzen. A shadow kill taken down Onyx tank. And they are a man down. It's a 4v5 here in the second turtle of the game. Gold laners separated from the engagement. An amazing pull by Omega.
Dangerous positioning just committed right there. Openings right now for Omega.
Oh,
is
that's
Onic
it.
Philippines risking this?
They're not going to try to contest. Ryzen secures it. Shields abound. Onic knows not to pick this fight.
Great play there by Omega, and that's one of the X factors that we're going to watch out for here. Again, Stone this time on a Valentina. 2 ultimates she can go for. Either the I'm Offended ultimate of Ruby or the Feathered Air Strike of the Forest.
Oh!
That was so close.
Very close indeed.
You were saying?
I actually already got to say it just in time.
All right, perfect. So, with that being said, you're not just looking at the timing of the roamers, right? The initiations. You're also looking if Stone gets the right ult at the right time.
Yeah. Right now, Stone has a feathered airstrike.
That's the right ult.
That's the right ult. One of the correct ults. So now Onic will know that the ultimate of the Farsa is in the hands of Valentina, so they're going to be watching for that a little bit more. And they know now that they have two heroes to watch out for in terms of setup, the Jawhead and the Grok.
Oh, Miko with
Gold
the
lane.
conceal play puts him in this interesting bush.
They're trapping
Goes
three.
for one. Injector on the
That's it.
Kekedot. They ram through him, trampling through the roamer of Onic. Down he goes. Keldra very low. Oh, and the flicker misses that last blast. The salvo from the feathered airstrike. The Savage lives. Onic now ahead 1,000 gold. They want to get one more. Sensui survives.
This opens up portals for Onic to not take yet. The escape of Keller being in the ultimate clearly is getting more advantage. If you're a carry heading into mid-game, you're slowly being happy up against a Claude.
Now Omega, though, even though they were able to get the kill there onto Kekadu's Ruby, pretty sure they were really gunning it for Nets and wanting to take him down. But with Nets being able to survive, get away just in time, actually he got to balance out the lane equilibrium of the bottom lane a little bit better for Onic PH. So now the marksmen split and you see them in the top lane.
Well, top lane, they have now changed lanes. Hayabusa or even Ryzen is trying to clear some. But now it's Omega playing the macro game. We were talking about it earlier, the control, but Miko here to offer
Miko
conceal.
with a conceal into the back line. Nets very low. Injector, and that's enough to take down Onyx gold laner. Omega pushes top lane as well, barreling forward, 2K ahead. But as we say, Sensui just goes quickly, taking this last turtle of the game. I'd say that's a trade. It's not a good trade, but it's what you can get.
Yeah, if you're in a Claude heading into mid to late game, you don't want to have that death surround you. But the cross-map objective, well, it's 4-team economy, but into damage in smart Omega's hands, that could be really, really scary.
Yeah, gentlemen, this is actually one of the tendencies of Smart Omega where they're willing to give up the last turtle of the game to get a kill onto the enemy gold laner if they weren't able to take them down just yet, just to further the lead of Kelra a little bit more. It's a level advantage, and I believe if we look at an items, maybe it's around a 500 to maybe even 1,000 gold lead for Kelra right now.
Onic is feeling something here against Omega. 2.3k gold lead. If you are a Ruby, you want to get the perfect hook. I'm offended right onto a Jawhead or even a Valentina. It's the backline that they need to penetrate.
Oh.
To figure out.
They forced it out of Miko, but it was a good call to do that.
Stone with an I'm offended of his own, and there's Kekedot doing the OG. Nets with the blazing duet. Keldra very low. Ryzen disincentivizing a further engagement. Close call. Onic has firepower of their own, but not quite yet. Not while they're down 3K.
They did not commit that feathered airstrike.
Yeah, good call there by Onic to do that, because if they did that, they knew Ryzen was just there right in the corner. Omega would have been more down to continue that fight, knowing that the members of Onic PH, two of them were low and had to go back. So Onic, they just showed their presence to stop that sequence by Omega.
Oh, speaking of, now they get one, but there's not enough damage. Again, they're currently outgunned. So they now know that, all right, let's not force it, because they couldn't kill Rezio.
3 ultimates on timers for the side of Onic.
Oh, injector onto Ryota. Keldra was waiting in the bushes. Down goes the XP laner. And now, Omega can just rotate even more. Lord coming in 10 seconds.
Talking about map coverage and presence. Getting deadlier by the minute. Omega could actually make this Lord and take it for themselves for a great push. Tier 1 turret of Onic is about to go, but they would not... if they won't want to risk this fight up against
Look at
Omega.
Miko.
Oh, an injector
Wow.
by Miko as they decimate
Dangerous.
Kekedot. And Ryzen playing with all shadows, pulling Lord even further away from Onic. Out of their grasp, it's a 4v5. Omega knows this is theirs. They're going to
Wow.
score this first Lord, all the while keeping all of their turrets. The map is theirs.
That was fantastic target acquisition by Miko. Oh, Miko knew that if he threw Sensui instead, high chance he would have been able to escape. So they said, let's do the next best thing. Let's take away their roamer. Because with Kekadu down, Ryota, man, it's going to be difficult for Onic to get close to that Lord, and that provided all of the time and space for Omega to take the Lord without a problem.
Yeah, we were talking about the CZ early on in the game. It's Sensui could actually add a way of getting control for the setups of Omega. But if they would rely on Kekadu, that could be a one-shot defense. Or even a setup that could mean harm.
So at least the good news for Onic is they have a great high ground defense. They have a Farsa. They can punish with the I'm offended on Kekedot. But where does that leave Omega? I think they're going to start pushing the advantage, and they're going to start finding out who's brave enough to walk out of their base. Because so far, with a 6K gold lead on Omega, Onyx not leaving their base, not anytime soon.
Yeah, right now it's a 1,000 gold lead for the marksman of Omega. The carry over the Claude. And now Omega trying to find a play there in the mid lane. Onic really glad that they weren't able to get that.
No, last year 3 turrets of Onic is remaining for the defense of their base. No orange buff for even Sensui. They're not letting the hedgehogs out.
Nope.
Because there's no way you would risk 2 members to get a perfect set.
Now, even the purple.
Yeah, they're baiting them
They're
in.
just going to serve it up to Ryzen like, that's yours, bro. Take it.
Oh, no. It's not looking good for Onic. How would you even get an advantage now using the conceal? Will they get one? No. They're just feeling everything that somebody could actually be in a bush. But that, if damage is concerned, Nets has the wind of nature.
Great pickup.
I hope it buys time.
Yeah, and time now is what Onic needs. Because again, that trade was incredibly favorable for Omega, giving up that 3rd turtle to get that first kill on to Nets. Really bought them a lot of time right now. Checking out the items again, and there is an anti-cuirass on the hands of Sensui. It's going to be up to him to somewhat lower the physical damage getting dealt out by Omega. But again, carry deals true damage. The Valentina is still something to worry about, and there's still Oni and Athena. Shield on Sensui.
Miko looking for one. Instead, he's the one who gets pulled in. Ejector onto Ryota. Ryota survives using a flicker, and that's a man down for Omega. A pickoff for Onic, but they're not quite out of the woods yet.
Not yet.
They're going to need to do that maybe 2-3 more times, and with even more casualties on the side of Omega to actually get the edge over the Barangay. With a 6K gold lead, 12 minutes and 25 seconds in and counting. The Lord spawns in 4 seconds. Onic has a man advantage, but Miko will be back in time. And whose time will it be to get the 2nd Lord of the game?
They need to manage and clear the waves properly. There's 3 turrets. All of the turrets, rather, are present in the side of Omega. They have defenses to worry about to be taken down on the side of Barangay and to take out even Kelra or Ryzen.
Yeah, an Omega loss in this team fight will be devastating for them. Because if Omega loses this next team fight, Onic will be able to get a lot back on the map, on the gold, on the items, and on the control of this game.
It's a quick snapback. The rubber band effect. Let's see. Look at this. Sensui walks into a bush full of 3. There's a concealed play by Miko. Here comes the rest of Onic PH. A feather airstrike coming in from Super Prince. And into the back line. Renzio goes down. So it's Ryota for Renzio. XP laners are the current casualty of this engagement. And that leaves the Lord still standing. And Kelra, Nets, the key players of both teams at the current point of the game, 13 minutes in, still alive, the Lord reset.
Crucial entry there by Nets. Blazing duet onto the back of Omega. Stopped Omega from responding to helping out Miko, because again, Miko's attempt to throw a member of Onic was stopped by all the crowd control of Onic PH.
Oh no, they're just going for the beeline on the Lord. Let's see. Sensui secures it. And there's a knock up on the Lord. And Omega knows better than to force it. Onic scores a major objective.
And also burned out Flicker out of Stone. You can't copy one ultimate to get it for safety on the next one. Now this is good news for Onic Philippines.
Yeah, with Omega so reliant on Miko being able to get a toss and get a pick off to initiate a team fight, him being not able to get that first one and even Onic being able to land the kill dealt a massive blow to Omega. Although, again, Hayabusa, Ryzen was such a massive threat to what Onic wanted to do and get that Lord, but just Sensui was able to hold on and Retribution the Lord away just in time to ensure that Onic will be able to find a way to claw back into this game.
Speaking of clawing back, they need to burn down defenses now. Showing off stickers. Onic Philippines wants a push. Straight onto the mid lane.
Oh, they want to push. They're going to get a push. Their minions have been enhanced by this Luminous Lord. And it's going to barrel on through bottom lane. They've already pushed in all the way through mid and bottom. Top lane staying safe since Ryzen cleaned up house. But that being said, Onyx back on the board. We have a ball game.
Yeah. the rubber band that you've mentioned with a snapback. Onic Philippines, if they continue this discipline and holding this line heading into the ultra late game, they would have a chance for against Smart Omega.
Yeah, one thing Omega should be looking at here that they can breathe a little bit. They still have a bit of a small lead. Miko with a
And
toss.
there's an ejector into Ryota. Feather airstrike. He obliges. Miko very low, forcing out a flicker. And there's a pull by Kekidot. Nets goes down, but so does Stone. 2 for 1 so far. Sensui gets the kill. Mind you, it was Nets who fell for Onic, so it's not looking good in terms of firepower. Onic are outgunned. Omega forcing the issue. There's a winter truncheon. A freeze by Super Freeze, but Renzo's gonna get his man. And now it's just Ryota and Sensui left. Sensui, the only lone member of Onic still alive.
I was
Kelra.
talking about it. That gold advantage they had right before that team fight happened. Ryzen picked up a Blade of Despair. Kelra got to pick up his Wind of Nature. Crucial item pickups by Omega. They might get the win here.
Oh,
they're knocking on the
coming in.
base.
It's not enough, Sensui can't do it. Omega take us to game 3.
The first tiebreaker of the season.